Generating traffic and sales can be a challenge for online merchants. But selling on the Walmart Marketplace puts your products in front of millions of customers who shop on Walmart.com. And right now, sellers who join Walmart Marketplace can save up to 50% on referral and fulfillment fees for the first 90 days. So get started today. Head over to marketplace.walmart.com/savings. That's marketplace.walmart.com/savings.
Welcome to E-Commerce Conversations, a weekly podcast focusing on e-commerce topics featuring interviews with prominent people in the e-commerce space.
For Practical E-Commerce, I'm Kevin Patrick Allen. Online education is no longer a niche enterprise, and there are numerous options for an e-commerce merchant who wants to learn new skills that can be applied to his or her business. Full Sail University is one of those online options. With a physical campus in Winter Park, Florida, the university offers online programs in fields such as web design and development, internet marketing, and graphic design. Ani Gasti is Full Sail's Director of Faculty Development. He joins us to talk about educational options for e-commerce merchants. Ani, first of all, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Tell me about Full Sail University. I understand that you focus on creative media. What degrees do you offer that would benefit an e-commerce merchant?
Well, first of all, Full Sail is about 30 years old now. We celebrated 30 years back in March. And we have a 190-acre campus in Winter Park, Florida, which is in the Orlando area. And we teach 26 different degrees in media and entertainment to around 7,000 students. So when I say media and entertainment, or as you said, creative media, it's recording arts, film, computer animation, game development, and a number of other areas. So in addition to regular classrooms on our campus, we have dub stages and recording studios and sound stages and motion capture areas and all sorts of things like that. And we offer these degrees to both bachelor's and master's students, both on campus and online. For the e-commerce merchant, there are some really obvious degrees, I think. We've just graduated our first class of students in our master's degree for internet marketing. So definitely internet marketing is an area that makes sense for an e-commerce professional. We offer that both at the bachelor's and the master's level, but it is offered online only. And then we have some other areas or degree areas that make sense, I think, for e-commerce merchants, such as web design and development and digital arts or graphic design. But really, I think any of our degree areas make sense for someone in the area of e-commerce because nowadays, you're using all those tools for marketing. You use music and video and games and all the different multimedia that we teach at Full Sail in some way or another in all areas of commerce, actually. So kind of all of them.
When I look at the internet marketing degree in particular, it focuses on things like SEO and social media and analytics. Who are the experts that you call upon to teach those topics? Because in some ways, many of these areas are so new, it's hard to say who the experts are at this point.
Well, it's a really good question. Actually, you're right. The areas are so new that it's hard to hire faculty members for them sometimes because, while we're working always toward, obviously, the best education for our students, the most practical, most applicable education, today in the office for our students who in our online programs are typically working full-time. And so as our internet marketing degrees are exclusively online, pretty much all of those students are working full-time and taking these degrees part-time. And we have had the challenge that we have to meet our accreditation requirements. So we have in our master's degrees, we have to have people at the doctoral level teaching, or at least half of our faculty must be at the doctoral level. So we have had a bit of a challenge there, but we've been very fortunate in that we found folks who, for example, have their PhD in electrical engineering, for example, but worked for many years in the mobile industry. So we have someone who's the person teaching our mobile courses, mobile technology. And pretty much most of our faculty, although all the faculty in internet marketing is full-time, living in Winter Park or the area of Orlando, working at this campus, many of them are still, have a shingle that they've hung out there, and they're working as consultants. And so they're, practicing internet marketers themselves. And so they bring that to the table every day, and they bring it to the classroom every day. So the students are involved in the process not only of working on their own marketing for their own company, but they're helping out these faculty members do consulting work. So it's a really good experience, and it's very applied, every day.
It's obvious through your website that you do take online learning seriously, and you lay out these myths about online learning on the site, including online schools are inferior to traditional schools. Can you tell me what you do to ensure that the experience is just as good online?
Yeah, well, one of the things we did right at the beginning when we were considering going online, Full Sail's been online for several years now, and, we thought, well, let's do our due diligence and research the existing learning management systems. So you may be familiar with terms like e-college or Blackboard. And, with all due respect to those entities, we felt that they didn't deliver education in the way that we liked to deliver it, in the way that we had done for close to 30 years on campus. And so we bit the bullet and decided to build our own online learning platform. And what we're able to do there is address some of the major weaknesses of traditional online education. And two of the big ones are a sense of isolation on the student's part and the perceived limitation of what online education can be. And so in designing our own learning management system, we really built it in such a way that the students are quite connected to their instructors, to one another, and to the school itself. And so we have a low student-teacher ratio. Our sections are limited to 25. But more importantly than that, I think, is addressing the perceived limitations issue, because so much of online education, even today, unfortunately, is more like a digital correspondence course. And at FSO, we really built it to deliver education using all the multimedia tools online that we use on campus. I mean, it isn't exactly the same, but in some ways, I would say it's better. And I've had many students say to me, actually, that they are more engaged and connected in this online degree at Full Sail than they ever were in their previous campus degree somewhere else.
And why is that in particular? I mean, how can it be better in terms of the interaction?
Well, technology is really helpful in this regard, and I think some online learning experiences don't take advantage of the technology, but Full Sail is a technology school, of course. So, I mean, it can be very simple things. As simple as students' photographs in discussion boards, but also we are a Mac school, pretty much. And so all of our faculty and all of our students are on the same computer at all times, except for our gaming degree, which has to be the exception. But so we use things like video iChat, for example. So where people would say, well, is it face-to-face or is it online? Well, we believe our online is face-to-face because my face is looking at your face on my screen. So connected in that way, and just the availability of our faculty. They are full-time, like I said, and so they are using their iChat or we're in Second Life or in Wimba, which is sort of a webinar type program, and we've just made ourselves available a lot for the students.
Many e-commerce merchants, and that is our listeners and our readers, they're so busy with their day-to-day operations that if they have something that they need to learn, they may go to YouTube and search for a tutorial out there. So that's absolutely free. Or they take a single course that might be offered via a site like lynda.com. What is the advantage of Full Sail over either one of those options?
Well, first of all, let me say that I think those options are terrific, and we use them. We use those in our courses. We have courses or degree programs where the students, as part of their course materials, get a lynda.com account. And our faculty members have their own YouTube channels, and we use the existing free stuff out there as well. Not only the produced materials, like the videos themselves, but actually the tools. We use the free tools that are out there, open source materials. And all of that's great, but it's only part of the picture, part of the education. And the role of education, I think, is to put it all into perspective. And I get this question kind of frequently, so I like to use this example that's totally outside of the realm of what we do at Full Sail. But one could say, well, why study French literature? All the French books are already out there. But the education part is first teaching you how to speak French and read and write it, and then really to learn what is the purpose, the meaning, and the history, or the value of all of this. And that's what we do with all of our degrees. It's we teach the tools, but then we put it into a greater context and give a perspective and a sense of what the value of all of this is and what is my role in this for the students. And I think specifically with internet marketing, I think there's been a history of people learning parlor tricks. So you learn what's the latest, tricky thing to do with SEO, for example, and that's great. That may help your business to a certain extent. But we believe internet marketing is a profession. So yes, learn the tools and the tricks, but you also need to be a strategic thinker, within your field, your industry, in order to make a mark and be the most successful that you can be.
Anything else you'd like to share with the e-commerce merchant out there that's hearing about Full Sail University for the first time?
I would just say that something I've noticed in a change since we started online is that the whole world is becoming more interactive and more collaborative, and marketers need to make sure that they're doing that as well, which many are. But one thing that we've done at Full Sail is we really have an extensive use of Web 2.0 tools, and we use them as educators ourselves. Our students use them as learners in the projects that they do, and really our graduates and our working students use these tools as professionals themselves. And I think folks in the field of e-commerce in particular need to be sort of at the head of the pack there. Beyond that, I would just say, if it's not too corny, I just want to thank them for being the backbone of our economy, especially at a time like this. It's the small businesses that are keeping things going. And, at Full Sail, we do what we can to provide the education, training, and resources for our students to follow in that same entrepreneurial path. And our goal is not just to have graduates, but to have happy, successful graduates.
Ani, we appreciate your time and good luck with your operations there.
Thank you very much.
That's all the time we have for this week's e-commerce conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. Please tune in next week for another new episode.